Okay. Hi everyone. It's gonna be a short video this week, mainly because I've been super busy after moving and trying to get work to pay my bills. Okay, so today I thought I'd just flick through my zine, since I realized that I never really posted any of the illustrations that I did for it. Mind my nails, they are gross. I did some painting the other day and I forgot to clean my hands, clearly. I'm just gonna do flick through my zine that I made last summer, so it's almost been a year since I completed it. And I'm still really happy with how it turned out, and I'm very proud of it. It was my first zine that I ever made, and it's all based on flowers, which I love to draw, and the meanings behind flowers. So I'm gonna say right now, and at the end of the video, if you would like a copy of this, I'm selling the hard copies, the full glorious zine on my Etsy, which is linked in the description, and if you wanted a digital version, which is cheaper, you can now find it on Payhip, because I recently made an account on there. Yeah, and you're saving a bit of paper, but you still get to see this cool zine. So let's go, I guess. So I wanted to make this inside front cover look like Victorian wallpaper, because the whole thing is based on Victorian florography, which I explain here. I'm not going to read that now. If you buy the zine, you can read it in your own time. But it starts with howdy. Good start. So here we go. This is the first one. I'm also going to say that I spent a lot of time organizing all of these in hue order. So you can see here that it goes through all the rainbow, and I was very proud of that. So the first one I got here is the peony. I also want to say that I got, through all the research that I did, there's loads of different meanings for all of these flowers out there, and I just kind of chose the 3 or 2 that I found most often and that I thought would make a good drawing. So like the first one for this one is happy marriage and prosperity, so I made a bride out of it. I'm sorry the light's gonna be a bit shit in this. Since I've moved, I have a window, and so I'm gonna have to get used to some new camera settings because I don't have to overcompensate with the ISO anymore, which is good because it means that my video is gonna be higher quality, but it also means we're gonna go through a bit of a learning curve today. So you'll just have to bear with me. So this is one of my favourite illustrations. He's just a little boy, he's got a flower on his head, I love him. So Purity of Heart was the only one that I chose for this one. I don't really know how that's reflected in this drawing, other than he just looks very serene. He's a good boy. Also, I should note that a lot of these characters in the zine look very feminine, and sometimes I intended that and sometimes I didn't. So a lot of it looks like gay shit, which this is intended to be gay shit, but it wasn't all intended to be gay shit, so but if you want to take it that way, that is up to you. There we go, that's a bit better. So the meaning for Rose was just I love you, so I drew a little cute scene. One thing I say that I did learn through making the process of making the scene was the size of the image, because I just made them A4 and then scaled them down, but I should have left a bit more around the edge, because you can see where it's trimmed here. It trimmed off a bit too close to the design. So I'll bear that in mind for my next scene, but it was just a useful little thing that I found out. So Poppy, as most of you know, means eternal sleep, hence the whole scene in Wizard of Oz where she falls asleep in the field of poppies. It kind of all makes sense. So I just drew, she's just like day sleeping, I guess. Got this, she's the middle of the poppy, so I wanted to make this halo around her head where the poppy, are they seeds? The poppy seeds used to be. Carnation, this was also intended to be gay shit. A lot of it's meant to be gay shit, because, you know, I know that I draw femininely anyway, so I just kind of leaned into it at one point. And also the meaning of this was woman love, and that sounded pretty gay to me, so Once again, I tried to do the like Victorian wallpaper around here. A lot of it is like trying to take inspiration from Victorian fashion as well. Except here, because this is just a ballerina. It means pride, but you know, she's just a happy little ballerina. So here we go. This is another one of my favorites. It's very simple, but I just really like him. And it means there's sunshine in your smile, and I thought that that was really sweet. And this was actually intended to be one of the boy ones, but again, it just looks like a very feminine being. But again, they're plants, so do they really have gender? I don't know. Again, another mistake I made where I drew a little bit too close to the edge of the paper. But I'm still really happy with this turned out. It's just a shame that this one was cropped a little too much. And it means magnificent beauty, so I tried to make this like really ethereal, magical calla lily person. So Forget-Me-Not. This was one of my least favourite ones, honestly. Again, the cropping was way too close to the picture. That was my bad because I didn't leave enough space for the cropping. But yeah, I did do a few different goes at this illustration, and this is the best one that I had. And it means true love and remembrance. And I just thought it'd be sweet to have a different kind of relationship in there, because a lot of them is just like, these two people are in love. I thought a mother and child would be quite sweet. This is another one of my favourite ones. The colours turned out not quite as I expected on this when it was printed out. And that's just because blues and reds, I don't know if anyone else finds this, but blues and reds are the most difficult to find the right colour to print, because it always looks different on screen than it does in a hard copy. But the meaning of this was just you puzzle me, so I tried to make like a very bored, confused acrobat, I guess, contortionist, I don't know, it's just, I thought it was funny. It's very confusing, kind of makes sense for the meaning. I really like this one. It took me so long to make all of these flowers, but I'm very pleased with how it turned out. Again, this is another one that I looked up a lot of references for Victorian fashion. I only really used a hat in it, but still. And it means lasting beauty. So my whole idea of it was like kind of an aging lady, but she's still beautiful. And I can't really show that through my style of drawing, but there we go. So lavender. Again, the colours of this were very difficult to get right for the print, and I cropped it badly, and that's just because there's a lot of red undertones. But it means loyalty, love and devotion, and my whole thought process for this one was just like, when will my husband return from war? No one's probably going to get that, but it led to a pretty good drawing, so I'm not mad. I really like this one. The crop worked quite well because the focal point's quite small. And it just means stateliness and youth. So I drew a little baker boy type thing, but made him into a little foxglove nymph thing. So ambrosia. This was one of the most last minute ones because I wasn't happy with the illustration I did before, but it ended up being one of my favourites. It's just very sweet. I think the change of perspective was nice, and it means your love is reciprocated. It's just a very sweet, wholesome page. So I think this is the last one, yeah. This is Visaria. Will you dance with me? And I just thought that meaning was very cute, and I'm very happy with this drawing because I added a lot of like lighting shadows of where the leaves were. And also the figures turned out quite well. Yeah, and we've gone all the way back to pink, so that means we've gone through the entire rainbow, as you can see here. And then we have a thanks for making it to the end page, which is the same as the opening page, I just flipped it. And then we have the inside cover again and the back. I forget what the QR code leads to, honestly. I think it's one of my social medias. I need to double check that. But yeah, there we go. I think it's very cool when you lay it like this, because they're all the plain pages and you can see the rainbow. Oh yeah, look at that rainbow. I'm very pleased with how this zine turned out. And I have sold a couple, I've got quite a few compliments, especially on the front cover design, which was, again, when I made the zine, I completely forgot that I had to do a front cover for it, so again, this is very last minute. But I'm really pleased with how it turned out, it looks really cool. And it uses my favourite colours. It's good shit. So yeah, that was it. Again, if you're interested in buying a hard copy of these, they're available on my Etsy, which is linked in the description. If you want to get a digital copy, that's on Payhip, that's also linked in the description. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. It was really fun to make, and I would love to make another zine in future. I just need to think of a theme and find the time to do it. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I will see you again in the next one.